The hidden faces of happiness. Today, I want to gently explore something very familiar, yet rarely questioned happiness. We all know what happiness feels like. We recognize it when it appears. We remember moments that made us feel good. But if we pause and look a little closer, not all happy moments feel the same. Some feel bright and exciting, some feel soft and peaceful, and some quietly fade before we even notice. So, in this video, let's take a slow look at the different ways happiness appears in our lives. Happiness appears in many small moments. If we pay a little attention, happiness is not something rare or distant. It appears in many small moments throughout the day. A message from someone we care about, finishing something that was pending for long, a small appreciation from a colleague, even a simple cup of tea at the right moment. In those moments, there is a lightness, sometimes excitement, sometimes just a quiet relief. And without thinking too much about it, we naturally recognize that feeling as happiness. It feels real, it feels meaningful, it feels like something we would like to experience again. So, happiness, in its familiar form, quietly becomes a part of everyday life. But many happy moments fade quietly. Yet, if we look closely, many of these happy moments don't stay for very long. Not because something went wrong, but simply because experience keeps moving. The excitement of a new purchase slowly becomes normal. The joy of appreciation settles into routine. The relief after finishing a task gives way to the next responsibility waiting for attention. And before we even notice, the feeling that felt bright a few moments ago becomes softer and eventually fades into the background of the day. This fading is not disappointing, it is simply natural, but it quietly creates a pattern that most of us recognize. So the mind moves toward the next happy moment. As one happy moment settles, the mind naturally begins moving toward another. This moment is not forced, it happens quietly and automatically. After finishing one task, attention shifts to the next thing waiting. After enjoying one experience, curiosity moves towards something new. Even during a pleasant moment, a small thought about what comes next can appear. So life becomes a gentle moment from one moment of happiness to another, planning, waiting, anticipating, each carrying a quiet hope that the next experience will feel good again. This moment is deeply human. Most of the time, we don't even question it. It simply feels like the normal rhythm of living. And slowly, happiness begins to feel like something ahead. As the mind keeps moving from one pleasant moment to another, happiness can start feeling slightly distant. It appears as something waiting, in the next experience, the next plan, or the next situation. So, attention leans forward gently. Waiting becomes natural. Anticipation becomes familiar. Even while leaving one moment, a subtle sense of almost there may remain in the background, not as restlessness, but as a quiet orientation toward what is coming next. And gradually, without clearly noticing, happiness begins to feel less like something present and more like something approaching. Happiness begins to live in the next moment. Without realizing it, happiness slowly shifts into the future. It begins to feel connected. What is about to happen next? A small plan carries the promise of feeling good. A message yet to arrive holds a quiet excitement, an upcoming event, a purchase, a conversation. Each seems to carry the possibility of happiness. So attention gently leans forward, not with pressure, but with soft anticipation. The present moment is still lived, yet a part of the mind waits for what is coming, and this waiting does not feel uncomfortable. It often feels hopeful, like happiness is just a little ahead, almost within reach. And quietly, the present begins to feel incomplete. As attention leans toward the next moment, something subtle begins to change. The present is still happening, but it feels slightly less satisfying. Nothing is wrong with this moment. Nothing is missing in a visible way. Yet a quiet sense appears as if something more is about to arrive. So the mind stays gently oriented toward what comes next. While eating, a thought about the next task appears. While finishing a conversation, attention shifts to the next message. While enjoying a peaceful moment, a small anticipation quietly moves underneath. This is not discomfort, it is not restlessness in a strong way. It is simply a soft incompleteness, a feeling that the next moment may carry a little more happiness. And so, life becomes a quiet movement forward. One moment of happiness arrives, it is felt, experienced, and slowly settles. Almost immediately, attention begins to move again toward the next plan, toward the next interaction, toward the next possibility of feeling good. This moment is gentle, it is rarely questioned, it simply feels like the natural flow of living. From morning to night, life unfolds in this rhythm, completing one thing, beginning another, closing one experience, looking toward the next. Happiness appears, fades, and reappears somewhere ahead. So the mind continues moving, not in hurry, not in pressure, but in quiet expectation. And over time, this movement forward start feeling like the normal shape of life. Yet, this movement often goes unnoticed because this pattern feels natural. it rarely draws attention. Moving toward the next pleasant moment seems like the normal way to live. There is no clear discomfort in it, no obvious struggle. So the moment continues quietly in the background of daily life, planning something enjoyable, waiting for something exciting, hoping for something better. Each moment carries a small sense of forward expectation. And since happiness does arrive again, the pattern never feels incorrect, it simply feels familiar, like a gentle rhythm we have lived with for a long time. But once in a while, during a pause or a silent moment, a small question appears. Is happiness always somewhere ahead? Or has this movement forward become so normal that we stop noticing it? Sometimes a quiet pause reveals this pattern. In the middle of a busy day, this moment is rarely visible, but during a pause, something subtle can be noticed. A moment of waiting, a silent evening, a space between two activities. In that small gap, the forward moment becomes clearer. The mind is not restless in a strong way, yet it does not fully settle either. It gently searches for what comes next, not out of urgency, but out of quiet habit. Even in peaceful moments, a soft anticipation continues, as if happiness is still approaching, still about to arrive. And in that pause, a simple recognition appears. This moment toward the next moment has been happening for a long time. What is the mind quietly hoping for? When the forward moment becomes visible, another subtle curiosity appears. What is the mind really looking for in the next moment? Is it the event itself or the feeling the event might bring? A message matters because of the feeling it may create. An achievement matters because of the satisfaction it may carry. Even a simple plan holds meaning through the emotion attached to it. So, beneath every anticipation, there seems to be a quiet search for a feeling of ease, a feeling of lightness, a feeling of pleasantness. And the search does not feel forced, it feels natural, almost inseparable from daily living. But once noticed, a gentle question lingers. Is the mind moving toward experiences or toward the feelings it hopes to find within them? An experience passes, but the feeling is what we remember. Every experience has a beginning and an end. A conversation finishes, a celebration settles, a pleasant moment fades, yet something from it lingers within. Not the event itself, but the feeling is created. We rarely replay the exact details of a happy moment, but we remember how it felt. A lightness, a warmth, a sense of ease. So, when the mind moves toward the next experience, it is not chasing the event alone, it is quietly moving toward the feeling it hopes to relieve. And because feelings fade, the moment begins again. Another moment, another experience, another possibility of feeling good. And so, the search quietly repeats. A pleasant feeling appears. It is enjoyed for a while. Then slowly, it softens and fades. Nothing dramatic happens, no sudden loss, just a natural settling of the feeling. And almost immediately, the mind begins to move again toward another moment, another interaction, another possibility of feeling good. This repetition does not feel like effort. It feels like the ordinary rhythm of life unfolding. Feeling good, losing that intensity, moving toward the next source of pleasantness, again and again, quietly and naturally, until one day a soft recognition appears. The search for happiness has been gently repeating across many moments of life. And sometimes a small question arises. As the search quietly repeats, a subtle question can emerge, not loudly, not urgent, but softly. In moments of stillness, it appears. Is this moment enough? Is happiness always somewhere ahead? Or is something already here in the present waiting to be noticed? The mind may continue its gentle rhythm, yet this small question lingers like a quiet whisper in the background. No conclusion comes immediately, no answer is demanded. It is simply a moment of subtle recognition that not all happiness is the same. Some moments feel bright and exciting, some feel soft and peaceful. Not all happiness feels the same. Some moments shine with brightness, with excitement that fills the senses. A surprise message, a long waited achievement, a joyful gathering. These moments feel immediate, vivid, and alive. Other moments carry a quiet happiness, a soft walk in the evening, a calm conversation, a sense of ease after completing a task. These moments are subtle, but no less real. They linger quietly, without demanding attention. Both types of happiness appear naturally. Both are part of life's rhythm. And noticing this difference helps us see the variety of how joy moves through our lives. Some happiness fades quickly, while others linger. The bright, exciting moments often feel intense at first. A new achievement, a surprising event, a joyful interaction, these moments capture attention fully. They can make the heart race or the senses awaken. But because they are vivid, they also fade quickly. Once the novelty settles, the intensity softens and the feeling moves into memory. In contrast, quiet moments like soft ease, gentle satisfaction, or subtle comfort tend to linger longer. They do not demand attention, yet they remain quietly within. Both types of happiness are natural and valuable. Both are part of life's rhythm, and noticing this difference can help us see how happiness moves through different textures of experience. A quiet pattern often goes unnoticed within. As we move from one moment to another, a general rhythm develops within. Happiness appears, is experienced, and slowly fades. Then attention shifts forward toward the next moment where pleasure might appear again. This cycle repeats quietly, day after day, moment after moment. Most of the time, we do not notice it. The mind moves naturally from present to future, from one experience to the next, and yet, in silent moments, we can start to sense it. The pattern is simple but continuous, a soft repetition of seeking and experiencing that forms the rhythm of daily life. Is this moment ever truly complete? As the mind moves from one moment of happiness to the next, a subtle awareness can arise, not loudly, not urgently, but softly. In still moments, a gentle question appears. Is this forward moment enough? Are we always seeking the next feeling, the next experience, the next moment of joy? Or is there something already present that we have not noticed? The mind may continue its rhythm, yet this quiet question lingers. It does not demand an answer. It simply invites reflection. And in that reflection, we began to notice how different moments of happiness move through life in their own way. Some happiness shines brightly, some lingers quietly. Bright moments of happiness can fill the senses completely. A surprise, an achievement, or a joyful gathering, these shines vividly. They excite, they energize, and they feel intense. But this intensity is often temporary. Once the novelty settles, the feeling softens and fades into memory. Quiet moments of happiness, on the other hand, move differently. A soft walk, a calm conversation, a gentle satisfaction, they do not demand attention. Yet, they stay longer, lingering subtly in the mind and body. Both are real, both are valuable, and noticing this difference helps us understand how happiness flows in our lives. Sometimes bright, sometimes quiet, sometimes fleeting, sometimes lingering. When happiness fades, the mind naturally seeks it again. The bright moments fade, the excitement softens, the feeling gently slips into memory, without pressure, without urgency. The mind begins to notice what is coming next. It moves toward the next possibility of feeling good. A small plan, a future event, a pleasant thought, each carries the hope of happiness returning. This moment is not forced, it is quite natural and familiar. From moment to moment, from day to day, the mind follows this rhythm. Happiness appears, fades, and moves again into the future. And this rhythm quietly shapes the way life flows. This rhythm of seeking is quietly part of human nature. From moment to moment, the mind experiences happiness, notice it, and moves toward the next. It is not a flaw nor a failure. It is simply how attention naturally flows. Life carries a gentle rhythm: experience, feeling, fading, seeking, anticipation. This cycle repeats in many small ways throughout the day, and because it is so natural, we rarely pause to notice it. Yet, when we do, a subtle insight arises. This rhythm is part of human nature. It quietly shapes how happiness is experienced and how life is felt. Observing it does not change the rhythm, but it allows recognition of its patterns without judgment or force. Sometimes happiness is chased, sometimes it is quietly noticed. When a bright moment fades, the mind often moves toward the next one. This moment can feel like a chase, an anticipation of something ahead. At the same time, other moments of happiness appear without effort. A soft walk, a quiet conversation, a gentle feeling of ease. These moments are quietly noticed without needing to reach or grasp. Chasing happiness is active and forward looking. Noticing happiness is calm and present. Both occur naturally. Both are part of life's rhythm. And simply seeing this difference helps us understand how attention and happiness interact through everyday life. Which type of happiness do you notice most in your life? Take a quiet moment to observe. Notice the moments that bring happiness. Are they bright and exciting, full of intensity and vividness? Or are they soft, subtle, peaceful, and lingering? Do you find yourself moving quickly from one moment to the next, chasing the next feeling? Or do you notice happiness even in simple, present experiences? curiosity and make the senses alert. Other moments are soft, quiet, and peaceful. They do not demand attention, yet linger gently and bring a calm sense of ease. Both types are real, both are natural, both are part of life's rhythm. By noticing these differences, we start to understand the variety of happiness that moves through our lives. Some fades quickly, some lingers, some make the heart race, some make it quietly content. And in seeing this, we recognize that happiness is not a single feeling but a flowing rhythm with multiple textures, all part of human experience. Notice how happiness moves through your day. Take a quiet moment and observe. Notice the moments that bring a smile or ease. Do they appear suddenly, bright and intense? Or do they arise softly, quietly, lingering in the background? See how some fade quickly and how others remain gently. Notice how the mind moves from one experience to the next, from one feeling to another. There is no need to judge or label these moments. Simply observe the rhythm, the textures, and the natural flow of attention. By noticing this, we begin to see how happiness is always moving in many forms through our life. Some happiness is chased, some is simply received. Sometimes we actively move toward a moment of joy. We plan, anticipate, and wait for a feeling we hope will arise. Other times, happiness appears without effort or expectation. A soft smile from someone, a gentle breeze, a quiet moment of ease. These moments are received naturally. The mind does not have to chase them, they simply appear. Both types are real and both are part of life's rhythm. Noticing this difference helps us see how attention interacts with happiness throughout the day. It brings a gentle understanding of the subtle movement that flows within human experience. Different types of happiness affect the mind differently. Bright, exciting moments can energize the mind. They may make the heart race or bring immediate joy, but this energy often fades quickly. Once the novelty settles, the mind naturally moves forward. Soft, quiet happiness moves differently. It brings calmness, a gentle ease, and lingering contentment. The mind does not need to move quickly. The heart quietly settles into the experience. Noticing this difference helps us see how attention, feelings, and energy flow together through everyday life. It also allows us to recognize the natural rhythm of happiness without forcing or grasping it. Over time, a gentle rhythm of happiness emerges. As we observe life carefully, we start noticing patterns. Bright moments appear, intense and exciting. Quiet moments follow, soft and lingering. Each fades in its own way, and attention moves naturally toward the next. This rhythm repeats across hours, days, and weeks. Some moments are remembered vividly, others quietly remain in the background. Yet, the flow continues without force, without hurry. Observing this gently, we begin to see the natural pattern of happiness as it moves through life. It is not one thing but a flowing rhythm of different experiences and feelings. Sometimes a quiet sense of incompleteness appears. As happiness flows from one moment to another, a gentle pattern becomes visible. Some moments shine brightly, some linger softly. Each fades in its own time, and the mind moves forward naturally. Yet, occasionally, a soft sense of incompleteness arises. Not loudly, not painfully, but as a subtle question. Is this enough? Is happiness only ahead, or is something already present? This question is not a problem to solve. It is simply a recognition of the rhythm of seeking and experiencing. Observing it calmly without judgment brings a quiet awareness of how life flows through many textures of happiness. Noticing the rhythm brings gentle clarity. When we quietly observe how happiness moves, we start seeing its pattern clearly. The mind shifts naturally from one moment to the next, and each feeling leaves its mark. This recognition is subtle, like noticing the movement of water in a calm stream. No need to force understanding, no need to judge what appears or fades. Simply observing brings awareness to the natural flow of attention and feeling. Over time, this gentle noticing creates clarity about how life unfolds. We begin to see the interplay between bright moments, quiet moments, and the mind's forward movement. And this insight does not require words, concepts, or effort, just calm awareness. Observing happiness quietly brings subtle contentment. As we watch the moment of happiness, we begin to feel a gentle ease within. No need to hold or chase any moment. The mind experiences a calm acceptance of what appears and what naturally fades. This calm noticing allows contentment to arise quietly. without effort or expectation. Bright moments are enjoyed fully, quiet moments are appreciated deeply. Each leaves its subtle trace in the mind and heart. And through this calm observation, we start feeling a steady, gentle satisfaction that exists alongside the moment of life. It is not loud, not dramatic, but quietly steady, like a soft light in the background. Some happiness excites, some quietly sustains. Bright, exciting moments spark energy and attention. They are vivid, lively, and sometimes intense, but their effort often fades quickly, leaving the mind ready to move forward again. Soft, quiet happiness moves differently. It does not demand attention, yet it leaves a subtle, lasting sense of ease. Observing both types gently, without clinging or chasing, reveals a deeper rhythm. We see how excitement comes and goes, and how quiet ease sustains the mind and heart. This recognition brings a calm awareness that happiness is not uniform but a flowing interplay of different textures, all naturally present in life. Observe the flow of happiness through your life. Take a gentle pause and reflect. Notice how moments of joy appear, how they fade, and how the mind moves naturally forward. Some moments are bright, vivid, and energizing. Some are soft, calm, and lingering. Each leaves a subtle trace, shaping attention and feeling. The mind moves quietly from one experience to the next, from one feeling to another. By simply observing this flow without judgment, we begin to understand the rhythm of happiness. Life unfolds in many layers: excitement, ease, fading, anticipation, all moving together. And in seeing this, a calm clarity arises about how happiness naturally flows through daily life. Calm observation brings freedom from constant seeking. As we watch how happiness flows, we begin to feel a quiet freedom. There is no need to chase every moment, no need to hold or control what arises. Bright moments excite, soft moments soothe. Both come, both go, and both are naturally part of life. By noticing them calmly, without grasping, we create a gentle space within, a space where contentment arises quietly, alongside the natural moment of attention. This freedom does not remove joy, it does not dull experience. Instead, it allows life to unfold with awareness, ease, and clarity. The mind becomes steadier, the heart lighter, and moments of happiness can be appreciated more fully as they appear and fade. Bring gentle awareness into everyday moments. Notice how happiness appears in ordinary daily life. The bright moments, the soft and quiet ones, all have their place. Pause occasionally to observe them fully, without grasping or chasing. See how the mind naturally moves from one experience to another, and how each feeling leaves a trace. This gentle awareness creates a calm space within. It allows contentment to arise quietly alongside the natural flow of attention. Over time, this practice of noticing changes how life is experienced. More clarity, more ease, more appreciation of each moment as it comes and goes. Happiness is not a single thing, but a flowing rhythm woven through all of life. Happiness flows in its own natural rhythm. As we observe life carefully, we begin to notice a quiet rhythm. Moments of happiness appear bright or soft, intense or gentle. Each moment leaves a subtle trace, and the mind moves naturally toward the next experience. Some happiness fades quickly, some lingers, some is actively sought, some arrives effortlessly. Recognizing this rhythm brings calm awareness without forcing or controlling anything. It is not a lesson to follow, nor a rule to remember. It is simply the gentle observation of how life naturally unfolds and how happiness moves through attention, feeling, and time. Carry this awareness into each moment of life. As we move through daily life, we can quietly notice how happiness arises and fades. The bright moments, the soft and lingering ones, all contribute to the rhythm of experience. By observing without grasping, without chasing, we allow attention to rest naturally. This gentle awareness does not change the moments themselves, but it changes how we experience them. We begin to feel a subtle ease, a calm contentment, and clarity about the flow of life. Each moment becomes an opportunity to notice, to appreciate, and to be present with what naturally appears. Happiness is not one fixed feeling, it is a flowing rhythm woven through every experience. Happiness flows, noticed or unnoticed, quietly shaping life. Throughout life, happiness appears in many forms. Some moments shine brightly, others arrive softly, quietly. Some fade quickly, some linger gently. The mind moves naturally from one experience to another, from one feeling to the next. By simply noticing this rhythm without grasping, chasing, or judging, we began to see how life quietly unfolds. Through attention and feeling, this observation brings subtle clarity gentle contentment, and a calm awareness of the flowing rhythm that shapes human experience. And in this quiet noticing, we realize that happiness is not a single thing, but a living, moving presence woven into the fabric of everyday life. Some happiness comes and goes, while a quiet ease can remain steady. As we notice the many ways happiness moves through life, we can also sense a subtle difference. Some happiness is fleeting, bright, or soft, appearing for a moment and then fading. Other happiness feels quieter, steadier, not dependent on circumstances, not tied to a particular moment. It does not replace the fleeting joys, but quietly coexists alongside them. This steady sense is not excitement or thrill, not an emotion to chase. It is a gentle ease, a calm presence that can continue even as moments of happiness rise and fall. Recognizing this allows us to see that life carries both the temporary and the lasting, each with its own place, each enriching the human experience in its own way. And sometimes, even after happiness appears, a quiet moment continues within, a subtle search, a gentle reaching, almost as if something remains unfinished. It is not dissatisfaction and not sadness, but a soft sense that the next moment might hold something more. This quiet moment often goes unnoticed, blending into the rhythm of everyday living. Yet, if we pause and feel closely, it raises a simple curiosity. What is this moment? Where does it arise from? And does it ever truly come to rest? Perhaps this quiet moment is something many of us have felt, yet rarely paused to understand. If this reflection resonated with you, stay with us for more quiet explorations. Thank you.